We're not silly.
Yeah.
For anyone wondering, we definitely knew that it was risky, but
well, I
marketing.
trusted you guys, and it pun intended grew on me.
Okay. Welcome to our first episode. As Wes is slurping over there.
you told him to be natural.
Welcome to our first episode of Local Roots. We're so excited. You're going to use this platform eventually to reach out to other local businesses in the region and just like create a bit of a network with it. Obviously, as I am one of the co-owners of Roots Collective, I have my other co-owners here.
Hello.
Wesley and Jana.
Something that's very exciting is those who had listened to any podcast in the past, we had terrible mics. So we've Jimmy rigged some mics up now, and it sounds amazing. Yeah.
Our first fun story, our first ever podcast we did was in the backyard of Roots when we weren't even moved in yet.
Was it here?
I think it was just there in the kids area.
It was in the kids area when it was complete mess, and there was renovations happening everywhere, and we had each of our iPhone mics with each other, and the quality was awful.
Yeah,
wasn't its time.
And then I think I heard wasn't it the workers? They used to listen, but they played it through their PA systems.
Yeah.
So it would have been just
The workers. Shout out.
twice as bad.
Shout out to Scott and Anthony.
Scott and it. Yeah, I think they played it through those like megaphone things, and it would have sounded horrendous.
Oh,
like imagine us all laughing like.
I remember him saying he played it for all of his work friends,
Yeah.
and I'd say that's how it went down.
Yep.
Thank you, Scott.
Oh dear.
Okay, so let's talk about how we got here, shall we?
Cool.
I
So
drove.
I drove a bit earlier.
You drove Dad's car.
I've been here all day,
Yeah.
knocking off a long shift,
Yeah.
holding the fort.
I've actually
and you
been-
look the freshest somehow.
It's a knack.
It is a knack. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh no, don't start the giggles. Right, let's
Giggles.
Okay, bring it back
The
down.
good thing is our giggles will sound good.
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
Let's each hear different perspectives.
Yes, Billy. That's a great perspective.
We have a little baby Billy over there in true Roots style. We love it. Let's each share our different perspective from when we were in high school
Oh, little babies.
to now and how we got here. So Wesley, you
Oh,
take
me
the floor,
first.
brother dearest, while
How
I
we
drink
got here
my
today.
while I drink my
Okay.
delicious oat hot chocolate.
Enjoy your oat hot chocolate. My story goes way back when I was a little baby. Bit like Billy the baby. So just went through high school normally, typical stuff growing up, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so that meant I got pretty bad grades because I didn't really enjoy school. And then as I went on, I knew that I had to work out what I wanted to do because there's a lot of pressure from school, from the teachers and stuff. So once I worked out that I love problem solving and designing and inventing, and saw that the best career path aligned with that, which was engineering at uni. So once I had a clear goal, I worked on getting better grades, and then got to uni, and I actually finished that degree. But whilst doing that, I worked at a local cafe in Serena, and then as time went on, an opportunity came up to run it and learn the managerial skills and stuff like that. So got to run it with Skye and Jana. This is very special, very, very special. Learnt so much. Like, honestly, like cafes you just think is like the dream. You could just rock in there and
So
like some dollars and, you know, happy days, and you get to live on the beach and you
from the truth. It's a grind.
you get to work for free. I'll just paint a beautiful picture.
Leave your 9 to 5 and work 24/7.
Yeah.
But hey, you look really cool.
Yeah, and definitely
Well, some
Skye.
of us do. Some of us look really cool. Others just rock up at 5 a.m. not doing hair. Somehow Skye can just show up no matter what time she
And look
starts,
stunning.
and she's like,
She's
I'm
like,
ready.
yeah. I wake up like this.
Put evidence. It's not natural.
Yeah.
You of all people know that I don't wake up like that.
I don't know. I think you wake up pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
You're a morning person.
Thank you.
Very much. So ran the cafe, and then trying to think what happened next, really.
Everything else was a blur.
Specifically, everything
It
was
was
a
pretty
blur.
much fruits after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, we joined foodie coaches on the journey,
Oh, the best.
which help us mentoring, and it made you realize you don't know what you don't know. And a business that isn't working is not because it's not working; it's simply because you don't have the knowledge. Like, we do an engineering degree to become an engineer, but there is no degree for hospitality. And we all sort of jump into it so blindly, thinking we know what we're doing, because we all know how to serve food and stuff. So, yeah, so that was really good. I really love that. And then, opportunity to expand into a bigger space, and that's Roots Collective now around us. Old workshop and fish and chip shop, and renovated it. Did it in 3 months, 3 to 4 months. Awesome opportunity for my engineering skills to come into play, because it was months of pre-planning, project planning, lining up all the licensing and approvals and council regulations and all that stuff. And then once we went to execute it, 3 months, we got it all done. We were very blessed because we had local electrician come in, who's a friend, and we had some Brisbane plumbers who had done service for us before, and they really pushed us over the line, and it just kind of all came together. We had Jana's incredible husband help so much, so much, and also our incredible parents and a few other people.
Yeah, amazing team. Even our staff were here after work, painting walls.
Yeah,
and they're just amazing.
So incredible. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of my perspective. So I guess whoever's next.
Yeah, I'll go next. So similar to Wes, we grew up in Mackay. So went to MCC. It wasn't bad. It was a bit more of a social life for me, not really school. But yeah, once I finished year 12, barely. Scraped through thanks to one teacher.
Yeah.
Jana and I think I lived at the range with mum and dad for a few months because I got Winter, my husky. And then Jana was moving to the Gold Coast. And she was training me up to fill her job role at the time. And then I decided, hang on, I want to go too. So we both left to the Gold Coast. It was so fun. I was 17 at the time, so she was my legal guardian.
Wait, you missed a little part out there. So when you left home, you were so excited to leave, the little wheels on your car went skirt.
Meanwhile, mum and dad have tears rolling down their face. Their little baby's about to fly the nest.
This guy's like, see ya.
The youngest was the first to leave, well, with me, but Skye just spins the wheels and mum and dad are like, oh no.
But it was such an awesome experience. So when we went to Gold Coast, we lived with two amazing girls that are practically family to us. And I worked at a bakery, which little did I know would lead to this, the knowledge that I learnt there and stuff like that. And then I also worked at a wildlife sanctuary, which was fun. Cool. Yep. And then I think it wasn't even like 9 months. And then Wes called and he's like, what do you guys think of taking on this awesome opportunity? And we were like, I was like, yes. Jana was like, I have a boyfriend.
Did I at that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. No, but you were so keen.
I don't think I did. I know I had a job that I didn't. I had committed to staying a year and a half, and
and he came later.
Yeah.
He did. That's
right. I really didn't want to.
Just juicy content.
I didn't want to leave the job. I didn't want to leave them high and dry.
Yeah, it's good.
And they treated you so well.
Oh yeah, well. Amazing. Like
they
family.
funded our lifestyle.
They looked after us. Yeah.
What's incredible is like how that attitude actually flows through to the staff, and then they have that same respect in a way. Like they don't. We've never had staff that really leave us high and dry.
Yeah, and especially being in hospitality, it is quite common for people to just sort of walk out on the day. But we've been so blessed with a team that is just really integral.
Yeah, which is definitely kudos to all of us and our parents. Because it's the way they raised us.
I'm a parent.
You're a parent? Yeah, Jana's a parent.
Crazy.
There is a parent.
I almost said you're a parent, but Naomi's a parent.
No,
we
I
have
feel
one
like
other
a parent.
sibling.
I have all my gals here.
Yeah.
My babies.
Mama hen.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's okay. So when we decided it was a yes, I think you were actually struggling a little bit at the time.
Yes.
And because you were doing uni as well as taking on a massive job.
Yeah.
And you were like, at the time you weren't very good at telling people what you needed. Nope. And I could tell in your voice when I was like, Wes, do you need help? No, I'm okay. And I was like, and I went to Jana that same night. I think I remember saying he needs us down there, and you were like, yeah, you go, I'll stay here, like, because we still had the lease for the house we were living in and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
once again, Skye spins the wheels out of the driveway and she's off down the highway back to Serena.
A little bit impulsive. But it was awesome.
You just commit. Once you decide something, that's it.
That's true.
100%.
Boots and all, Dad says.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then went back, and then we had the awesome opportunity of running another small cafe, and that was just like so fun. Yeah. The people we met and the journey we had there was a really, really beautiful journey. And then pretty much we outgrew the space, and we could have either decided, nah, that's it for hospitality. Let's finish that chapter. But no, we're Baileys, and we had to be crazy. And we're like, let's do something bigger. Yeah. So Jana and I were walking past here once when it was just a mechanic. And
this story's good.
Yeah, and one of our really beautiful staff members, we didn't realize her dad at the time owned this. Well, he still owns this place. And we walked past, and I think I had my phone, and I was like sneaky taking a video trying to like get content for Wes. I was like, I need to show Wes how beautiful this roof is, like, because that's what sold us. The roof, like the open beams and stuff like that. And then I think we just decided to walk in, and he was like,
yeah, we did.
Do you know who I am?
We were like, do you mind if we have a little look inside? Yeah, and he said that.
He's like, do you know who I am? And we're like, he looked really familiar, but we're like, and we know a lot of people and we see a lot of faces. Yeah. And he's like, I'm Nadia's dad. And
then all the pennies dropped. We're like, oh
gosh. Like, oh, of course. And then, pretty much we spoke to him a few times, and then they agreed on a lease to buy. So we were able to go into this place and do the renovations that we could do with the relief of knowing that it's not just going to get sold. So
security.
Yeah, that security. And then 4 months later, boom, we're here. That's it for me. Yanni, your turn.
Ooh, how did I get here?
Could probably pick up where Skye scooted her tires, because you were with her, weren't you?
I was, yeah. Yes, was I?
Yeah, we left at the same time.
Oh, yeah, I followed
Remember,
you.
I was dancing, and you called me, and you were like, why are you driving like a maniac?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm dancing.
I'm the safe driver out of the three of us. Skye's always like dancing or singing or something, and
usually drifting.
Yeah. Anyways.
Jana sees like a drop of rain hit the road, and I get a phone call. Wes, be careful. It's raining.
It's so true.
That's so accurate.
Well, after my motorbike license, I was like schooling you guys on how to drive safely. Yeah. We'll start with going to the Gold Coast. I'll try and keep it in relation to why we're so passionate about what we do here. Skye and I wined and dined ourselves on the Gold Coast quite well. So we didn't have a lot of money back then, but we
had a credit card.
I had a credit card. For anyone watching, do not get credit cards.
What did you call it?
When you have a younger sister.
The CC, yeah.
Code word was CC. You're going to put that on the CC? And you just gulp.
We froze it in the freezer once. We cut it up once.
You get... probably not going to say that.
Anyway. So we really loved the foodie culture down on the Gold Coast and Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast. So I suppose that was our first kind of taste of what it could look like and how vibrant it was. And just like the whole scene down there, it's very rise and shine kind of thing. Like you wake up, you go for a walk on the beach, have delicious coffee, then go have brekkie. It was so good. So I'd say the seed was kind of planted then for us. I say that, but actually going back further, I think really the reason why I love this is Mum and Dad. They always wanted to go back to the land and grow food, and they just raised us to be very kind of community orientated within our own family, but also in our school. our house was like a farm growing up. We had a horse in the backyard, roosters crowing, neighbours complaining. I think the rooster was in the cupboard once because Naomi didn't want to say goodbye to it. So we would put it in the cupboard so the neighbours wouldn't wake up.
We had aviary, birds, fish.
Mum used to rescue
pretty much a farm.
All the animals
in town.
Yeah.
Yes.
A couple dogs.
And you might wonder how a farm relates to a cafe. I don't really know how, but it just, to me, it feels the same. It feels like the essence of life, like sitting around a table and sharing a meal and just really connecting one-on-one. So yeah, it definitely goes back to the way we were raised, I think. And yeah, on the coast, being able to see that in a shimmery form really inspired us to come home and take up that mantle. And
there was a conversation you had with Dad, wasn't there, where you called him and you said you're struggling?
Oh yes, that's true.
That was probably the start.
Of this. Yeah, so Dad, although our time on the coast was really fun, we did struggle a lot. There was a lot of lonely days, so we just wanted to come home.
A lot of fights.
A lot of fights, yeah.
A lot of growth.
Sisters. For anyone who knows Skye and I, we're like this tight, but we also fight like a lot.
Yep.
Not anymore, but over the years.
Well, I think running a business together kind of sorted that out.
Yeah, you had to.
Definitely.
We had to have a successful
We basically shut the door and we had to work it out.
Yeah. Sorry, Wes. The meat and the sandwich many times.
Mediator, we called him.
It grew us all a lot.
Yeah. Dad, yes. So I was talking to him and I was sad and I was like, just want to come home, feel homesick. And he was like, have you put any roots down where you are?
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, like connected with anyone or like made any permanent commitments there.
Put any roots down.
Yeah, and we hadn't. Like, we kind of just kept to ourselves and
stuck to ourselves.
Yeah, didn't get into any sport or I don't think we even went to any kind of groups or anything.
No.
So yeah, he said you need to put roots down for it to start to feel like home. Of course, you're going to want to come home where your roots are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little kind of start of where the name possibly came from.
Yeah, so that story is really funny because we actually had a moment where we were sitting out front of my caravan. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how it went? And
we were just staring out over because Mum and Dad live on a hill out over the land.
In one of the moments.
Yeah.
And I think I read a Bible verse or something.
Yeah, we were going through a rough time at the time. And you were reading the Bible.
Yeah, and then I really want to remember this because it was really like a pinnacle moment. I think God just said roots. And when I was reading it, and it really stood out.
The word stood out.
Yeah, and I was
scripture.
like,
I think it was Colossians.
Oh, I remember we were talking and I was like, Jana, how nice would it be to just go back to your roots? Go back to the reason why we started this. Like,
let me guess.
Simplify it.
You both stared at each other once you said it.
We stared at each other, and then we stared off into
the
roots.
Because I think I remember getting a phone call soon after.
Yeah, we called you straight away.
And you guys are like, you're all excited telling me the story, and then I was kind of like,
on the other
this
end
was
of the phone.
The name? Really?
Really?
So excited.
Do you know? Anyway.
We knew. We're not silly.
Yeah.
For anyone wondering, we definitely knew that it was risky, but
well, I trusted you guys, and it pun intended grew on me. And what was incredible is it just started to get redefined in my mind. At first I was like, roots. Like it's easy you said it because the correlation is something that isn't good, but that name itself isn't even meant to be attached. It's like we just added it. So redefining it back to the way it's supposed to be, it was so wholesome because it's restoring something, and that's almost a bit of our story is taking something like community that's sort of fractured and creating a hub and finding restoration and redefining it, as opposed to, like, it's so easy, and there's nothing wrong with Facebook and social media, but you can get lost in it. You're so connected, you aren't connected anymore. So redefining that and letting roots grow and establish and bringing it back to life. And,
Well said.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Back to GC.
Yeah.
So I came home 6 months after Skye did. So Skye and Wes had been holding the fort down and I came in and had to learn everything. And I do now, but I did not cook. It's like a running joke in our family that I cannot cook. I can now.
Yes, very much so now.
Thanks to my husband.
Really good food.
So coming back, I had to learn everything, and it was intense. Like the 5 a.m. starts, that was the hardest thing to get used to because I am not a morning person.
You're such a sleeping in person. I have so many memories of you coming into the room and we're like, Jana, no, it gets better. It gets so much better. The night before, Jana's like, I've set 20 alarms. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go for a run. It's a new day tomorrow. Wes, I need something from you. If you can wake me up in the morning, I don't care what I do, just wake me up. We hear 20 alarms going off. The whole house is awake. Jana, Yanni, wake up. Prod you. And then we get the all together now, like
It's
as if
always so
we're a
silent
little
too.
servant. We push any harder.
Dismissed.
It was just so subtle. We were like, okay, we get it, because we knew it was coming next. Get out!
I've changed a lot. Like, especially being married to Richard, he is up at sunlight. Probably, actually, you know what? Before he's up.
Yeah,
even
you
when
want to be with him.
Yeah. Actually, maybe I'm not a morning person.
Actually, I think
feel like
someone.
I'm lying.
I think someone.
If he's gonna watch this, he's gonna be like, she never gets up with me.
It's just a scam.
I feel like I'm lying.
I feel like I'm lying.
Okay, back when I started at the cafe, I got good at it.
You got good at it.
With you guys. Yeah. Since having babies, my babies sleep in, so it's just so delicious to sleep in with them. So these days I've been sleeping in a little bit. I don't know why I feel guilty about this because I stay up late feeding them. So
Yeah, so it's all their fault.
anyway,
The delicious thing you said too.
yeah, that's another
Was it?
story.
Well,
Let's
it's
not
kind of
put
on
that
the same thing. It was. I think I woke you up early in the morning or something,
She
and
loves
you're
the
like,
attention.
in. So irrelevant.
you're like, what time is it? What time is it?
It's like 1 a.m.
It's like, Jana, it's 1 a.m. The conversation basically after this was ended because she's like, how delicious. Went back to sleep.
Because she realized she had another 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
I love my
So yeah,
sleep.
loves her sleep. Delicious.
Can you tell your story of Richard?
Yes, Richie.
Yes, my beloved.
Your
So
beloved Richie.
you got used to working at 5 a.m. and you're working in the cafe
Nice segue, Wes.
and you worked every day. Well, not every day.
Yeah,
Most days
no,
we basically
we
worked
did
every
work
day.
every day.
Basically, like
We
70
had,
plus
let's
hours.
talk about that. We've gone from, I would say, thanks to foodie coaches who
Yeah.
really changed our
Probably
mindset.
easy 50 hours a week.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Way more,
I
yeah.
used to count it would be like 75
Yeah,
hours
easy.
a week,
Wow.
like 15-hour
Yeah.
days, 6 days a week.
And what was
were we
crazy-
doing? Why were we open
Well,
morning
We were
and
open.
night?
We were
Yeah.
open from
Well, 'cause of COVID.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Why?
We also thought we had to work heaps because that's what a good leader does. But
Yeah.
we learned through foodie that a good leader is someone that offers what their team needs. And the team doesn't need you to be there all the time. They just need you to create like a really good systems and structures and care about them as a human. You being beside them and exhausted and tired, it's not what they
It does
need.
more
It's-
damage. Like,
yeah.
we need to be working on the business so they have a good business to work in.
Yeah.
And that was a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
It took us probably, how long have we been with Foodie? 2 years?
Oh, I
Two-
think they said
2
2.5 years the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Time
I'd say it
flies.
probably took us like almost 2 years or a year and a half to finally step right
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Trust the team.
And even after stepping out, going through that owner's guilt
yeah.
of like not being
Feeling-
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But it's funny because once you stop personally feeling that, nobody else feels it.
Yeah.
It's like a perpetuating you thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
team's just here. They're here to do a great job, to work as hard as they can, go home. But if you bring an energy in as a leader,
yeah,
you're the leader. So whatever you're leading, your team is following.
Yeah.
So
And now we have such good balance, and the team is thriving, and it's just amazing.
Oh, it's so
again,
good.
our whole team, but the floor managers, just having them, like, they're just so trustworthy, and they do their jobs way better than we ever could.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's such a blessing.
I actually want to fill in that blank, because obviously floor manager to any restaurant
Oh,
is
true, yeah,
a
true.
floor manager. But
Yeah.
specifically Sophie, Stacey, Adela, and
May.
Nadia back then, but now
Yeah.
it's May. But they were like, 16?
Yeah.
The younger when we took them on, just doing bread and salads, and now they're floor managers.
Yeah.
So that's what you're referring to.
Oh,
is
yeah.
the people themselves, not just like a floor manager.
True.
I
yeah.
calculated today Sophie's been with us for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And Liz has been with us for like 7.
No,
Something
it's
like
more.
Yeah.
I think it's like nearly 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, tell us about the day
Yes, so
that a
there
young,
was this-
strapping young
a
lad.
strapping young lad with beautiful eyes and eyelashes for days used to come in to the shop, and I would say a lot of us girls would swoon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Not you.
No, I
obviously.
saw it happen.
Oh, yeah, you
All the
witnessed
girls
it.
would like giggle and run out the back, and they're like, "He's here!"
Yes. Anyway, at that time, he was very off limits. So I was like, don't look at him, don't look at him, don't look at him. But he was hard not to look at. Anyway, one day he just came into the shop, and I didn't know at the time, but he had just had a car accident.
Yeah.
On his way to work. So he got a lift back to Serena because his car was written off, to get coffee, as you do after
We all
you've
know why.
had a car accident.
Just minor interlude. Richard was a regular. He came in every day.
Yeah.
Large
cheese-
cappuccino, 2 sugars.
ham
ham
cheese, tomato toasty.
with onion and salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Skye
Yeah.
knows.
I know.
Yes. So he got 2 coffees, and I was like, oh, better tell all the girls he's off the market. Went straight out the back. Girls, he got 2 coffees. Obviously, he has a girlfriend. Turns out it was for his brother, who was helping him with the whole
car
situation. Yeah. And then he left. Later, he came back again, which was odd. But this time he had a lovely girl with him. And I was like, girls, he definitely has a girlfriend. Everyone get over it. And then
You're trying to get everyone else to move on.
yeah, and then he came back up to the counter, and just out of the blue, he's like, I just have a weird question for you. And I was like expecting some sort of coffee question, like,
Food
can I have
related, yeah.
equal or something that he doesn't normally get. So I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, do you think we could get to know each other?
Oh.
And I, being me, like, my heart, like, I nearly fell over and said, no, and just rattled off, like, all these reasons, walked away slowly. And he was like, don't worry about it. It's okay. Because it was very weird the way I reacted.
Yeah.
And then he left, and that was that.
I think it just took you one, because something you might, like, not a lot of people know about Jana is she's so selfless. So she would not have been thinking about herself in this situation at all, or that he was interested in her.
I was shocked, actually.
Yeah, so when he said that, she was like, no.
And then wasn't the cherry on the top was the same day he came through the door, and the newspaper guy threw the newspapers newspapers in our shop, and didn't
Nearly
it
took his
fly
legs
under
out.
the door and hit him, or
Oh,
it just
no, the
flew
door
it?
was open.
It just
yeah,
flew.
he was
just
carrying
threw
coffees
it
in it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
in one day, poor
Yep.
guy, he had a car accident, got hit by a flying newspaper, and then had me
Turn him
Rejecting.
down.
in a weird way say no.
Remember when newspapers were a thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those days,
Those
the good old days.
Back in the day.
Back in the
How
2
old
years
are we?
ago. It feels like we're
The
ancient.
newspapers are back.
Are
they
they?
are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah.
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 Pandemonium, is that what it is?
Oh, we're getting Pandemonium.
Oh,
I've
yes.
ordered it for us.
Cool.
Very exciting.
Australian newspaper.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
Yes, keep going.
Oh, that's basically the story.
Yeah.
So you just said no?
Oh, yeah. Now I have babies. No, I think we just. He kept coming in and things led to things, and then we climbed a mountain together because apparently that was a test to see if I would be a good life partner.
And then we went on a hike and he got stung by moonshine.
Oh, yes. Who wears shorts hiking through
We went to
scrub?
our friend Kim and she drugged him up with all these naturopath pills. And he's like, what am I taking?
No, she had all the hacks for getting the moonshine out.
She knew
We
what she was
waxed
doing.
his legs and everything. Oh, dear. Anyway, now we're married
Happily
for
married.
5 years. Yeah.
Oh, 5 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, girls and guys,
Get a
if you
job
want
in
to
a cafe.
find a partner, get a job in a cafe.
Make sure the newspaper run is on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our testimony and everything we've been through comes down to this moment, which is returning to the roots. So going back to the basics of things and of connection, community, and nourishment. So community is connection. So it's actually connection, love, and nourishment. So yeah, returning to the roots of community.
So
Why am I getting that wrong?
community, love, and nourishment.
No, connection.
love, and nourishment.
Yes.
Ah.
Returning to the roots of connection, love, and nourishment.
Yeah.
So that's the three. So it's
And in saying that, the starting from the roots, something that we were really big on doing here was making sure that we started so small that we stripped our menu right back to basics and stripped everything we did right back to basics. Our team was a lot smaller when we first came over, which was awesome as well because we could really focus on that really good training, which has helped immensely now that we are so busy and we have a bigger menu. We have a burger menu now, a brekkie lunch, drinks, all that stuff. So, and we have a cocktail menu. Like, it's like when you get the roots and the foundation down pat and done well, then from there you can grow. I think something that we did in the past was we just tried to we didn't have a good roots and foundation.
Yeah, we just focused
and we just did everything.
Focused on the fruit.
Yeah.
How many things could we make happen? And it surprisingly is not profitable at all.
No.
You can offer an all-day menu with ice cream and this and that and 7 till 8 with
All-day
delivery all day
breakfast.
and you didn't make any money.
We were big people pleasers too. So if which customer feedback we live by it, honestly, it's the best because we can improve and it's honest and we love it. But to the point where we would hear customer feedback and we would change everything at the drop of a hat.
But you can't be what everyone wants.
Yeah.
No.
And there's no fun in that because then if everyone is that, then what uniqueness is there? So we really dived to the roots of who we were.
Yeah.
And finding our niche and saying no so our yeses meant more.
Yeah, that's
good.
really
powerful.
Yeah.
Another really good one we learnt was be proactive, not reactive. And we were always reactive.
Yes.
In the
Putting
past.
out fires.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, people want a cinema movie night, let's make it happen. Because we had the infrastructure to make it happen, but we didn't have the money somehow. I don't know where it came from.
We found it.
And then when we could start again and we had that fresh slate, we really did it right.
Yeah.
And you can see that in our fruit, in the fruit of our incredible team, our incredible food, the love and the nourishment that does flow through this place in our community, and the amount of feedback that we get from customers now that is so positive. We've done it right.
Yeah, definitely. And just establishing who we were really clearly and taking ownership of that. And you can see it in like the marketing that you do, Skye, because you do all the marketing. You're showcasing the local stories. It really actually has nothing to do with us, but it highlights the reason we exist.
Yeah.
And that's more powerful than trying to sell a product to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that really hit home recently, was realizing that this platform can be used to uplift so many people. And yes, Skye, your skills in marketing are just insane. Like, it's almost like you've been to uni to learn it. And
thanks, guys.
7-year course.
Just like being able to do something as simple as point a camera at someone and ask them questions about their business.
Yeah. Well, that's how this podcast interview platform, whatever we want to call it, it'll evolve over time, was started. was hashtag local roots. When we went around and we went to all of our suppliers, Roaming Hens, Dairy Fresh, Allison's Lettuce. Oh, there's so many. Highlands. I'm probably missing some, but the goodies. Yeah, I went personally to each of their farms and to their businesses and interviewed them, and it was so educational for me because we're providing their food, but also for the public because they know where their food's coming from and they know why our food is a little bit more expensive because you're providing an income to those local farmers, and that is everything to me because those people support us back before we even supported them. So it's really the least
those
we
people,
can do.
our suppliers have got us through some really tough times. Like they are hearts of gold.
And quality's not cheap, and people's labourism. See, factories can make things cheap, but to do it like the farmers are doing that we're getting supplied from, it costs them, and we don't want to cut them off, so we want to supply them. And a really cool like fact about roots, so this is really cool. So each plant itself,
settle in guys.
Roots itself. Each plant itself, like roots might be like analogously a plant. It's got its roots. You've got Dairy Fresh, it's got its roots. Goodies Butcher, it's got its roots. It's got something called the mycelium network, which is a fungus which interconnects every single root system. And what it does is the roots start to communicate with each other, and they start to help each other. So if one tree is struggling, the other trees will send it water, and nutrients will go between the trees.
That's amazing.
And the mycelium network itself, which actually would be our community of people, they are the ones going between and spending money. They bring in the nutrients as well, things that roots itself cannot absorb. So it's a really good name because it really establishes great roots.
Wow. It was also, that name was a giant faith step because at the time, we were sure of it, but we were also like, what does it really mean? And over time, stuff like that's come up. Stuff like a million Bible verses with roots in it. Yeah.
So many.
Dad's story that we didn't even remember until recently. So many things. So it's cool. Very, very cool.
Very, very cool. And
that's interesting. That's very interesting. Typical what do you call it? Engineer thinking about the there's definitely more. Mycelium.
Love the way things work.
Mycelium fungus.
So we might
mycelium.
Is that what you said?
Mycelium.
I feel like I saw it on the Netflix Mushrooms show.
The mycelium network.
A mushrooms documentary.
Yeah, it's a mushroom.
About fungus.
It's a fungus mushroom. Yeah. Pretty sure it's a neural network as well, so they actually communicate. Yeah. Wow. For example, if you light a fire under a tree, it'll grow fruit and lots of it soon. But what's the purpose of a tree growing fruit?
How do you light a fire under a tree?
Well, like if you have...
Oh, I thought you meant under the roots.
No, not
like
under
in
the
roots. Ground.
Like on the ground, and it smokes out the leaves and it produces fruit.
Yes.
Why would a tree need to establish fruit when it's already on fire? So integrate the mycelium network. One tree is burning. It sends the signals to the other side of a massive forest, and by the time months passed and that fire gets to that side of the forest, it's already created and dropped fruit, so that when the fire goes past, they establish and grow.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. Like things like that. It's cool. Only all coming to the surface, but
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up. But first, let's talk about why we're doing this.
We are doing this because these are the skills and the platform that God has given us to share.
Yeah.
And again, going back to the way Mum and Dad brought us up was to uplift and really care for other people. So this platform is able to shine a light on local businesses. There's so many out there, amazing businesses with really hardworking people behind them. So Skye is going to really shine that light on them and show everyone more about what they're about.
Yeah. And for those who haven't seen them, Skye's done some already, and she's going to do some more and incredible ones. Yeah,
I feel like this platform will probably reach more than local businesses. Like, that is definitely where I want to start, because those people deserve their story to be told, and they sometimes don't have the resources to be able to tell their story. But
we've been there. So
yeah, we've been
being
there,
a small
not having
business,
time.
Yeah, you don't have time.
Or money. It does take
Flat
money
out.
to have cameras and all that stuff. And I think I did another one recently, local women, for International Women's Day, and that one was amazing. Most of them were business owners too, but some of them weren't. And having that platform to share even just what people do in our community, because there's so many influential people in our region that have such a huge impact that people just aren't aware of, because they're not out there trying to get on social media. No. They're just good people. And they deserve to be recognized. And I can see that, and we have the beauty of having this platform where we get to meet so many different people that we do see the impact they have on our region, because we're a huge part of the community here, but we are not the community. There is so much more out there, and I just feel like using Roots as a platform to connect, like you said, the root system is exactly what we want to do. So
I think our demographic in Serena as well, like it's a small country town. Everyone's like very down to earth, hardworking. Like you said, they're not about social media. They're not out there trying to get follows. So they're very humble people who just put a lot into their crafts and a lot into what they do. So being able to help them with that storytelling is amazing that you can do that, Skye. I love being at home, like literally every day, because I'm at home with my babies. I wake up, I'm like, oh, what's Skye put on Instagram today for Roots? And like more often than not, you do your posts at like maybe 11ish. So I'm like looking at it at like 8, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing, because I get so much out of it. Like it just uplifts me, and I love seeing the stars.
Do you like my little story today?
We
book out on Saturday.
No, it's good, because it makes me, it kind of brings you into the space when you're not here, and it's cool.
I'm definitely like, just, it's so exciting to be able to uplift people. It's so like, it's such an amazing thing, and those people that we get to know through it, like through you getting to know them and the space and so on, it's creating that interconnection. And what you're also doing is establishing connection between those people and all the viewers, and that sometimes goes missed, and some people get robbed of the life it can bring. We walk into companies and buy food that we don't even know where it comes from. So establishing that connection, it's so healthy, and it's what's going to sustain communities in the future.
I feel like it's like a form of education too. Learning about there's going to be so much on this platform about running a business, as well as just being a part of a community. I think coming out of COVID kind of changed the world a little bit. People are more excited to be a part of community now, which is so beautiful, because COVID was so suffocating for everybody. It was so depressing, and coming even for us, like the struggles and challenges we went through that, we now appreciate community on a whole nother level. And there's so many amazing things happening around the region that we can reach out and get them on this, and people can see this as a platform that they can find out about that stuff. It's all in one place, because I find that's the hardest thing, is finding where to find stuff, and not knowing where to look, because it's kind of everywhere. So I'm really excited for that.
It's cool. And we had is it Win News? Win News did an article or TV, whatever you call those, report on us. And really highlighting the local connection, and they called us a community hub. And obviously when you're running a business, you can easily look over things like that because you're just in the daily grind, but it's sort of been resonating, like just having that community hub where, like you're saying, it's that like one-stop place for all those connections. And not that we are the one-stop place, but is in what is being established, is that's the goal, is to create those connections. And I feel through these videos it's
gonna happen.
Woohoo. And the most exciting thing is it'll keep all those businesses in business. And that's, we don't want to lose them, and we don't realize what we've lost until it's gone.
Amen.
Shop small and shop slow.
And local.
Local, small, slow.
Local, small.
That's a slogan right there. Local, small, slow.
It's a slow game.
Well, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Thank you for those who joined us on this platform. It's our first one, so sorry if we're a bit giggly and all over the place, but we'll get better at them, and I'm really excited to see who we will have on next time. We might have Wes and Jana again later down the track, but Jana's got baby life, and Wes is a very busy man himself, so yeah, so it'll mainly just be me from now onwards with another business partner, or not business partner, business person in the region, or somebody that's just a huge influence in the region. So I'm really excited to see where this goes, and yeah, just follow me and Roots on the journey. So we'll have this on Spotify, Instagram, I think that's it. YouTube and Facebook, yeah. Shorts will be posted on Instagram and Facebook, and then the actual full length will be on YouTube and Spotify.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so if anyone wants to actually see the action, they can watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, totally. Sometimes it's more fun to watch people communicate. So yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thanks,
it's been
guys.
a blessing.
Don't know what camera to look at.